All right, guys, we're back with the Screen Team here on today's Talk 930 KWOC. This show is being brought to you by Fearless Social, also Poplar, Bluff Drywall, and the almighty Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Matt, I've got to ask and be truthful. When you got the engagement ring for Jenna, where did you pick it up at, sir?
Jared's. No, of course. The almighty Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart's next door to us.
Awesome. And are you a fan of the ring, Jenna? Do you like it?
Absolutely. I helped him pick it out.
Very sneakily, hey, honey, if we were to get married, say, in a few months,
right,
which ring would you like? That's how that conversation went
down.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done, guys. All right, check them out right next door to Walmart. We've got a Halloween show going on right now, and we've got an awesome lineup. We just got done reviewing Beetlejuice, and we're moving on to probably one of the greatest horror movies of all time, Psycho. This movie was released in 1960, directed by Matt Whitworth's favorite director of all time, Hitchcock. Why do you like this guy so much, man? I mean, come on.
Because you don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I think he's a master of suspense and timing, and he's one of my favorites. There's so many great movies to him. This actually isn't my favorite Hitchcock movie.
What is?
Rear Window. I'm a huge Jimmy Stewart fan.
Jimmy Stewart.
And that's why. It's that stuttering charm.
Yeah.
But Psycho's a close second. And this is a movie that's black and white, and I know that can be a turnoff for a lot of viewers, but I think this is one that shot so well and acted so well that I don't think that could be a deterrent for many. I think that this is a movie that holds up. I think for suspense, but I don't know that it's as scary as it was in 1960.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with you on certain points, but watching this recently, getting ready to review it, there was a few parts in this film that kind of got me a little creeped out. So I still think after all these years, it still has its overall sense of I don't want to say horror, but definitely some sort of thrilling aspect to it that kind of makes you creepy, and gives you a chill. What really gets me with this film is it's like you're watching two different films in a sense. You've got the beginning part where you've got Janet Leigh's character who basically steals money from her employer and her employer's client, and she's on the run, and you've got that aspect of it. Are they going to catch her? What's going on with this particular deal? And then all of a sudden, it makes a 180, and you're at the Bates Motel, and you're with this creepy guy and his creepy mom, and it's like you're watching two different films,
It is. Mm-hmm. If you've never seen this film, you don't know anything about it, as Jenna actually didn't.
So this was your first time watching it?
Second time.
Okay.
The first time, though, was with Matt last year.
Mm-hmm. And if you had never seen it before and you didn't know anything about it, you didn't know anything about Norman Bates and that the whole mythos behind Psycho, then you would think Janet Leigh is the Psycho character because one of my favorite scenes is when she's on the highway and she's playing in her mind all of what her boss and her client and her coworkers and the police officers are saying about her, and you can see the paranoia building up in her mind to where everyone's out to get her in her mind.
Yeah.
And it's impressive, too, because it's just a close-up of her face, and you can see all these emotions going on just in her face, in her eyes, and the little wrinkles around, I find that really impressive.
So I want to get your take. This was your first start. This was your second time watching it, but obviously your first time was this past year. Were you scared initially watching this film? Did it scare you?
I wouldn't say scared. I'd say creeped out. There were aspects that, creeped me out about it. But when I think of scare, I think of jump scares. And when I think of a psychological thriller, I think of being creeped out. Mm-hmm. And I would definitely say I was creeped out during about half the movie, probably.
And I don't know, but I think that's a common misconception, though. I don't think that it has to have a bunch of jump scares to be scary. Mm-hmm. There are a few in this movie, but one of our favorite scenes is when the investigator goes into Bates' house and is walking up the stairs. You have that great camera angle that's from the top of the wall in the corner, and then you see an attacker come out and confront him. And the way that it's shot, it's very sudden. It's very thrilling, and for that time period, it was pretty ghastly. The gore in that movie was got it a lot of panned reviews from critics. You know, they said it was too gory, even though it really doesn't show much of anything.
Yeah, you're right.
By
you're
today's
right.
standards, the famous shower scene, they used chocolate syrup instead of blood, but you never see the knife actually connecting with skin, and so you never really see any wounds. It's just all theater of the mind.
Yeah, I mean, your mind plays tricks on you. You have the quick edits, going one after another, but you also have the music, the creepy music that just kind of plays with your mind and stuff like that. So, what were your thoughts? Obviously, most people have seen this film, but for the ones who haven't, I don't want to give away the ending, but when you saw the ending, were you surprised?
I was, yes.
You did not see that coming at all?
I did not see it coming at all. I even, there's even aspects right at the beginning that threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a second, I'm so confused. Why did this happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So Psycho, let's talk about Anthony Perkins, because he did a fantastic job, man.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. One of the great performances in horror. This is where a case can be made for horror as just art. You know what I mean? It really gets ignored a lot by the Academy. This movie certainly was. Yeah. And you have movies like Silence of the Lambs and The Exorcist, which are nominated for Best Picture. But for every movie that's like that, there's hundreds of thousands that just go completely ignored. Every once in a while, you'll see something like American Werewolf in London where they get nods for special effects and even win, but it's rarely, you talk about the performances, and Anthony Perkins in this movie goes from being a fairly socially awkward but charming young man to being very disarming to giving you chills.
The range was incredible with his character, and he got no love from the Academy.
No.
This film did get some love as far as nominations go, but it did not win anything. It got nominated for Best Director, Best Supporting Actress Janet Leigh, Best Cinematography, and Best Art Direction. It was all nominated, but didn't win a thing. But this movie is considered one of the greatest of all time. It's funny how that is,
Yeah.
Now that we consider it, so awesome, but back in the day, they're like, no, you're not that awesome. No award, no awards for you, Hitchcock. So all in all, yes, for if you're getting together with your friends or with your loved one and you want to scare somebody, do you choose Psycho?
Absolutely. I think if nothing else, they can be creeped out by the psychological aspects of this film and the twists and turns. It has one of the great plot twists of all time, up there with I'm
Your Father.
I'm Your Father. Not Return of the Jedi. Excuse me.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, Strikes Back, and Planet of the Apes, the original. It's great twists and turns throughout.
Darn you all to. Love that movie. Love you, Charlton Heston. You're awesome. All right, guys. That one's called Psycho. Coming up after the break, we're going to get into The Shining. It's next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.